Hi, I'm Don Converse. I'm 6'2", 195 pounds, and I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Thank you for agreeing to this oral history, Jim.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Thanks. I want to ask you about your early life. Did you grow up here in the Bay Area?
Yes, I was born in San Francisco on January 12th, 1944. My dad was in the U.S. Army, and in fact, the war was still raging at the time. I have a sister who is 2 years older than I am, by the name of Gail. So we were here until the end of the European theater of action, at which point my father was assigned to an embassy position in Rome. The family lived in Rome for about 3 years of my life.
Do you recall any of that?
I recall some of it, images mostly. It was a very unusual life. We had a governess. Rome was in a mess. As far as I can tell, my father's job was espionage, and trying to figure out whom he could trust and whom he couldn't trust. The communists were very influential, and we were trying to minimize their influence.
He never divulged too much information to you about that.
He did later, yes. Certainly at the time, I was clueless. I was 2 or 3 years old. What I really saw was just parties going on around me, and it seemed like an endless stream of parties and visitors.
And your mother?
My mother, yes. She was close to us. She was born in San Francisco as well. She had gotten a degree in education from San Francisco State and had taught here. I guess they were married in the 1930s. He had been in the military reserve, and when the war started, he got called up. She continued teaching and had two kids. When the war ended, she put her career on hold and moved around with him for a while.
Did you move around a lot? When did you move back?
Well, the Army is a pretty mobile organization, and people typically do 4-year tours of duty. We moved from Rome to Virginia and spent about 4 years there. At the point my parents divorced, I moved to San Francisco and lived here for most of the rest of my life.
Were any of your family in any way remotely interested in mathematics?
Not so much mathematics as technology, I would say. My father was an amateur inventor. I remember him struggling with trying to make a refrigerator automatically make ice cubes. He spent years at that. Other people were more successful than he was. The one invention that ended up paying off very well for him was putting typewriter ribbons in plastic cases. And so having a cartridge typewriter ribbon. He patented that idea, and it generated a huge royalty stream for him. It probably paid for a lot of his extracurricular activities after he got out of the Army. Option C.
Jim, can the world be reduced to information? Can the mind be reduced to data processing?
We don't know. Hans Moravec believes it can. I believe it can. I don't see why not. Turing thought it could.
Just one final thought. To your mind, is the world finite or infinite?
Quantum theory would tell you that there are a lot of possibilities, but not an infinite number of possibilities. We are beginning to realize that our universe is finite, which is to say that the way that the expansion seems to be going, you go back 15 billion years and you draw a sphere around us. There is a finite amount of matter in the universe that we can perceive.
There is an edge.
There is an edge, yes. Quantum space says that things can only be in certain states. The number is huge, but it is, in fact, it is not infinite. It is such a big number that it is logically equivalent to being infinite. Where we are in the universe is lots and lots of zeros, hundreds of zeros behind it, but it is a finite number. So it seems, oh, there was a piece in the New York Times recently about the future of the universe. It talks about how I think 100 trillion years from now, things are going to get very boring because everything will have gone inside some black hole or other. All of our atoms will be inside some black hole or other, and our universe will consist of what is inside that black hole. Amazing, huh?
Definitely. Should we get some lunch?
Yes,
Thanks, Jim.
you are welcome.